what are the true truths or true reality? Sometimes what we call, what are the true reality? What are the true truths? This is a very, very big subject in Buddhism. Big subject and main subject and very, very important subject. Why? Because these true truths or true reality is everything. Everything is in this true reality. And so this true reality, what we call relative reality and absolute reality, or relative truth and absolute truth. What is the meaning of relative reality? What the things appear to be, just appearance. What is absolute reality? What things are, what things are, the reality, the real reality. An example of that is the traditional example. I will give you a traditional example. Rope. There's rope, rope, multicolor rope. And someone who afraid of snake, snake, very much. And you are living inside the house, a little bit dark, and maybe around 5 or 6 p.m. sun is setting, there's no sun, but still light and dark mixed together, You are very afraid of snake, and then suddenly someone open the door and say, "Here's snake," throughout this rope inside your house. Then when you look at this multicolored rope, you really see that rope as snake moving. And maybe there's some tongue come out, or maybe getting close to you. Oh no, maybe what, Terrible, yeah? And you have goosebumps. Your ear go up, maybe, the hairs. You cannot breathe, maybe. Almost like you are facing real snake. Same, all the problems. Then you are just waiting like that, maybe a little sweat, Then one of your good friend comes and open the door. "Hey, hello, what are you doing?" He said, "Shh, snake. You say like that. Then your good friend said, No, this is just rope. See, here, Then you feel like, it's just rope. So the rope is example of absolute reality. For you appear as snake is example of relative reality. So right now we are in the relative reality. What we see, what we hear, what we smell, what we think, what we do, everything in the relative reality. And what is the relative reality? It's object of concept. Yes, no, right, wrong, good, bad, me, you, subject and object, the concept. And that is the cause of suffering, problem, samsara. What we call 4 rivers of suffering. Being born, getting old, sick, and die. That's suffering. That's what we call natural suffering. And then there's self-created suffering, Death and fear of death. Which one is more painful? Fear of death is more painful than death. Fearful, The fear of death is self-created problem. The death is natural problem or suffering. So it's what we call samsara. Samsara means the circle of suffering, the loop. But this all is relative reality. Samsara is relative reality, suffering is relative reality, karma is relative reality. The absolute reality beyond concept, beyond subject and object, beyond suffering, beyond karma, is freedom, absolute freedom. There's no sufferings. It has unchangeable happiness. Happiness not like, happiness without grasping, without concept. There's clarity, there's wisdom, there's compassion, there's activity, enlightened activity. If you recognize your true nature, which is what we call Buddha nature, and that is absolute reality, your Buddha nature, then you have freedom. This is why your good friend introduces you the rope. Whew, free, yeah. But before that, suffer. Pain. Suffering is just illusion. It's not real. But introducing rope is rope, you're relief. That's the nirvana, or that is the recognition of absolute reality, absolute truth. But it's not easy, of course. Even though your friend introduced this rope, but if you're really afraid of snake, still you may, I know it's rope, but still I cannot touch, the rope. I don't want to touch, That's habit, That's why maybe we know the relative reality, the essence of relative reality, which is absolute reality. It's not like that. This maybe you may have misunderstood. Absolute reality is here, and the relative reality is here. Not like that. These two are one, actually, one essence. Actually, relative reality is absolute reality. If you recognize, the rope appears as snake, but that is actually rope, yeah. So it depends the recognition. So although you are free from concept, suffering, problem, everything, but still you have now problems. There's a lot of, because we have a lot of many boxes, many divisions, many sectors. That's why everything has contradiction. Big and small is contradiction. Many boxes, and we are crash into this our boxes. And this habit is so long, from beginningless time of samsara until now. We believe it's real, we perceive it as real. So right now we just begin to learn about the absolute reality. You cannot free. So you have to build up that habit again through three knowledge. First, study absolute reality, contemplate absolute reality, meditate on absolute reality, then you achieve direct realization.